Greenlands, and we have the straw to get baled. So going to tackle that first. And then we're going to deal with one of the maize fields. And again, we're going to bale that because it was kind of easier. You'll see later on there's at least one more crash than usual, and I was having a bit of a weird night last night when I recorded this. I had a really bad headache in the early evening, like proper migraine type headache, and it went away, but it left me with the weird kind of halos in my vision. And because of the low contrast between the straw and the field, I couldn't actually see what I was doing, so I had to stop eventually. It was kind of scary, if I'm honest. It went away in the end after a couple of hours, and it's all fine today. I have had it in the past, but very infrequently, and as I kind of forget that it sometimes happens, and yeah, it freaked me out a lot. So that was interesting. It was not what I was planning for. My head felt awful. I don't remember what actually helped get rid of it in the end. It was a combination of a wheat bag on my neck, lots of meds, and just kind of snoozing, really. And that cleared it up, and yeah, I was the pain went away. But when the pain went, I had these weird kind of blurry spots in my vision, and they eventually cleared up as well. I guess it's because, migraines are all in the brain, obviously, well, mostly, I think, and a lot of the medication that I take affects blood flow in the brain. I guess that's another side effect of stuff messing up in your head. Yeah, so hopefully this will give us enough straw to get things done. So I've gone from being really ahead on videos to with being away a lot last week or this week, I think, when I released this video, and then having a really busy couple of days. It's that has gone away, annoyingly. What I was just doing there is setting the working width of VCA to the working width of the combine header, so I can be a little bit lazy and use GPS to get this job done. Actually, the last time we talked about the Xerion, and I was saying about the reverse drive function, and thanks to Brian, who is one of the patrons. Works for a custom contracting business in Canada, I believe. And he said the reason that they use the reverse cab is the rear 3-point is significantly stronger than the front 3-point, and they use it for things like forage harvesting headers. So you can get the forage harvester that you can attach to a tractor, so they use it for that. And also, if they're pushing up silage, I think they just need the strength of the beefier 3-point on the back. So yeah, that was really cool. I love when you guys can throw in those real farming facts, because I don't know any of them. So yeah, that was awesome. I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members while I'm talking about at least one of them. Appreciate you guys all supporting the channel. So yeah, this is the point where my eyes were really struggling. And having it on GPS made it so that it was really quite easy to just bale the straw. But then actually seeing what I was doing between driving around the field was much, much worse. So you see that bale just in front of us. Just checking, we got 38 bales off of that field, which is pretty nice. There's a bale right in front of us in the middle of that tram line. Yeah, I couldn't see that at all. As you will see about now. Yep, didn't see that. Didn't see that until I hit it, pretty much. Yeah, I did one headland on here and then had to stop. It was basically kicked the chair back, shut my eyes, and listened to an audiobook, I think, until my head felt properly better. I did actually finish recording this last night, so my it cleared up. So I couldn't even see here that the I wasn't able to properly realise that the baler pickup wasn't down. It really doesn't sound good when I talk about it afterwards. It wasn't that bad. It was just just couldn't play Farm Sim, I guess, or watch TV particularly. So yeah, pretty much done with the straw baling. The combine was put away last video for good on here for us. Yeah. So what do we have left? We have 3 maize fields, including the mega field. I'm probably going to tackle the mega field in the next video, I think. I need to clear the silage bunker out before we do that. Got on that actually. I've been really bad lately at making notes for the next videos and forget things that I need to do, and I do need to clear out the other clamp and bring all the silage up here so that we can refill it with fresh silage, or we can demolish the chicken buildings and build another one. Don't really want to do that, I don't think. So I couldn't check how many bales we made on this field because I had to do it in 2 stints, so wasn't that many. I think it was about 15. We'll see in a moment because I collect these first, and I had noticed that the poplars had started regrowing already. Thanks to all of those that sent me some facts on those, it would seem that it taking them about 18 months to grow is not unrealistic. I think having seen some actual footage of it, I think the difference is that in game they are not as mature, well, they don't look as big as they are when they're actually harvested, and that's maybe what gave me the impression that they took unrealistically long to grow in game. So yeah, yet again, you guys providing me with some really useful real world information. So yeah, with that kind of thing, quite often, that one, when I made that video, I was literally Googling it as I was recording the commentary. I do not do this in the real world, as you guys know, and so most of my real information is based on things I've already seen or things that I pre-research, and I really hadn't pre-researched that. It was just kind of a bit of a gut feel and a very quick Google. And, you know, quite often the first result you find on Google is not the correct one. So yeah, that was kind of it. Using the 8RX to bale collect. One of the features of this map that's been something that I've always been aware of, and I've always tried to overspec the tractors on here. I think the one area that I didn't particularly early on was on the baler, but when I was buying tractors, generally when I was thinking about what they would do, I was overspecking them is the hills. So this field is on a hill, it's not particularly steep, but running around to the other block of fields, the hills coming out of the farmyard, even with an unloaded trailer, really slow even this tractor down. And this is an 8RX 410, so plenty of grunt, and it just really struggles. So yeah, it was something that I'd considered as I bought the kit, but even so, some of it was not necessarily high enough horsepower, and there's the reason that I run the Xerion on the baler, and before we've been running the 8RX on the baler. Again, that's another one from Brian's Real World Farming Life. They run sometimes an 8RX on a baler. So yeah, all these things that I often think are either realistic or unrealistic, I find I am so wrong. So, which amuses me, because people watch for my somewhat realistic play style, I guess. I never consider myself a realistic player. I just enjoy doing some things what I deem to be properly, I guess. Yeah. So we're going to stick these in the dynamic bale shed, where we've been keeping our straw. So actually, let's talk about doing things properly and doing things right. So I did the video this week, 5 ways to make more money in Farm Sim. That is entirely a video which is designed to get people to click on and view it who aren't necessarily regulars to the channel. In that respect, it has worked. It got, in the first day, nearly 1,000 views, which is very different to what my videos normally get. It's like 10 times what videos get in that kind of time frame for me, normally 5 to 10 times anyway. But it did attract some of the comments that I expected, of people who just, I guess they just play differently to how I play. And, you know, it's like, yeah, just stick money generators in. And my view at that point is you might as well, if you're on PC, just hit F12, type in 99999 and say you're done. So, but that's because I play very differently to other people. There are a lot of people who don't want to care about whether they make money or not, and they just enjoy playing the game and going through the process. And that's, you know, that's fine. If that's not what you care about, that's not what you care about. But that's obviously very different to how I play. And so, yeah, it causes me a little bit of mental conflict initially. But, you know, if you just want to buy whatever you want to buy and play the game, it's fine, you know. But equally, if that's what you want to do, why even bother clicking on a video that's about more ways of making money? Yeah, anywho. I'm probably going to do a few more of those, purely for the fact, so this is a funny one coming up. Ready? Boom. Yeah. So what I'd hoped to do here was unload them and strap them so that it was more, I could see what was on there, that kind of thing, rather than it just saying how many bales. I'd forgotten that these trailers don't work like that. So they do not use universal auto load. They use the other auto loading script, and I don't know what auto load they use. Had this set up for so long, and yeah, actually we're missing a bale there. We had 28, I think. I might need to go and find that stray bale. I thought I'd picked them all up, but yeah, so that didn't work well, obviously. Oops. Yeah, it looks like I've lost a bale, I think. I'm pretty sure I had a full load coming through the other side. So yeah, I'm probably going to do a few more of those videos. I'm thinking like one a fortnight, basically, because I kind of don't want to pee off the regulars. I don't want people to think that the channel is something that it's not. It is a channel that's about me playing farm sim how I like, and me helping with tutorials and stuff. And so, yeah, I don't want people to get the perception that the channel is something other than what it is, but the numbers do not lie. So I got a few more ideas for videos like that to do. I have a really cool one that is going to be coming soon, and I'm waiting for stuff to arrive from AliExpress, and I'm quite excited about that one. That is one that I'm really, you know, I'm making for me. So we need to lease the multi-baler, and also we are going to, I think I might buy it, the forage harvester hitch. So this was a recommendation from Smock Farmer. So you can connect the multi-baler direct to the forage harvester, I think. But he shared some pictures of this last night and said about how it seems to allow things to turn better. So giving it a go. And we're going to use the DSA multi-baler. This is the Maize Plus version, which is off of their Discord. This is not the version off of ModHub. So this will allow baling of a few more things, but mainly we want to be baling maize silage. So yeah, and luckily, because it can bale up to 180 centimeters. Thankfully, I only set it to 150 because that's all it can wrap. So otherwise, I'd have been a bit annoyed. So the plan is I'm going to drive this. And that's one of the nice things about using this multi-baler is I can actually do the harvesting and not have to worry too much about, you know, carters and auto drive and stuff. And then I've got the 8RX with the bale trailer, and we're going to see if Courseplay can do some of the bale collecting at least, and then I'll go and deliver them down to the bale shed. So these will go in the Giants bale shed that we have on the farm. But that seems to have hooked up okay. There's no PTO, so we're using magical farm sim power. And it does seem to turn quite well, whether it's just because it sets it a bit further back from the vehicle so there's a bit more freedom, or whether it's just that it's been coded with more freedom on the axle or the tow hitch. So yeah, nice addition. I probably need a longer pipe on here. Yes, I know, that's what she said. I don't think I have the long pipe option, and it did miss a couple of times, so I'll check that before we take it down, because this is going to go down to the mega field for the forage harvest. So, or mega silage harvest. I'll be leasing at least one more, and I don't know yet how I'm going to run that. I'd said that we'd probably use the lorry with a couple of the big 82 squared studio trailers, or the lorries. We have two, and that might still be what I do. And then we've got the big Volvo wheel loader to run in the clamp, or might try using Courseplay this time. We could take the Zerion down we've got a leveler and a compactor, and we could see if that can run on Courseplay. I think I might have tried that last time and not had much success. Yeah, just had a mini break. So what I'm pondering actually is I might lease 2 forage harvesters. We've got plenty of cash to really speed that process up, and that probably means having 6 trailers running, so that each one's got 2. Now the only issue I can see with that is 6 trailers running on auto drive, crashing into each other lots. What I'm thinking as a way of managing that is, although we use 3, we actually set it up as a single implement course with lands. Yet another break. Sorry, not break. One of the dogs was barking, so I have to go and check what that was. Yeah, what I'm thinking is that we set it up as a single implement course with lands. So we'll need to do quite a few headlands, but we can probably do that by having 1 run on each headland. 3 headlands is probably enough actually with the area around that field. And then put each forage harvester in a different land. We can maybe try and set it up so there are 3 pods of lands, and that way, although they're all in the same field, they're working somewhat separately, and equally with 6 trays, so we'd have to lease 4 lorries. It's not going to be a cheap operation, but it might be faster if it all goes well. What I'm thinking is that we could then set it up so 3 lorries go into each clamp as well, so that's all kind of automated. We might need another compacting tractor, so that we're all running super smooth and super automated. So I don't generally like doing things which are all automated. I like to be involved, but something that scale, I think the best bet is going to be to try and automate it all, and then I can troubleshoot through the process. From what I remember, we had to refuel the forage harvesters several times. We will have to refill silage additive several times. So yeah, I think that's probably the way I'm going to tackle that. I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing that now. Not sure when I am going to get round to doing it, but yeah, that sounds like it's going to be quite good fun. It'll be the next video I record on here. It's not the next video I have to record. Yeah, so it's not. I've kind of lost the lead that I had, or I can see that lead going away because I'm taking a few days off. Yeah, so I've done a couple of headlands. Let's see if we can get Courseplay to collect the bales. Now, what I found with this is, if depending on how you start, you can see here it's defaulted to Courseplay fieldwork rather than bale collecting, and so it's asking to generate a course because it thinks it's doing field work, which is not. But I found if I drove into the field and hit play, I think this picked up 1 bale and then stopped. I think the way that I found to get this to work was to be in the field, hit the little target reticule next to collect wrap bales, and start it from in the helper menu, and that seemed to work quite well. It would occasionally lose where it was, I think, because the hedges don't have collisions. It was kind of wandering around a bit, but to be fair, it did most of the job. Courseplay did most of the job, so changing the bale type didn't matter. They come out wrapped, but this seems to have got it going. Yes, it drives in the crop. Thankfully, workers don't destroy crop. But it seemed to do okay. I was pleased enough. It saved me a job to some extent. I didn't bother setting up auto drive to try and deliver to the bale shed. Just couldn't be bothered, basically. It's not that long a drive. And I said I was doing this post migraine, which meant that I was trying to make it easy for myself, basically. And yeah, I really like this way of forage harvesting maize, because one, it's realistic. I think I'm assuming having it behind a forage harvester is realistic. It may or may not be. This thing is a real implement. This baler, it is something that is used in the real world, so that's cool. And it. You can see that I think the bale collecting tractor has already got stuck, or it's thinking. I can't make the turn. I actually needed to do a third headland, which was a bit annoying. Yeah, it's easier than obviously in the real world. You have actual humans doing the carting and driving and stuff, and that works a lot better. But to do this in game, this was easier, basically. Yeah. Did get the job done. Do need to pause again. I think this is the most broken up I've ever had a commentary recording, at least in a very long time. I'm not looking forward to trying to edit this into something somewhat coherent. Yeah, so first trailer load of bales, and yeah, these are going in the bale storage. I really wish Giants had made the bale collecting area bigger. Mark Thor has one which extends it. I might just go in and edit it, because every time I try and put bales in this thing, it won't take them all. The only time I think I had much success was when I was using the Anderson round bale stacker, and maybe I should use that. When we were doing grass bales over on the mega field, that worked really well. So if I guess if using one of these in future and it's kind of like this and it's kind of tucked away, then it might be worth using the Anderson again. That shed has just reminded me of some stuff I want to share with you. So I keep mentioning that I have been working on a pack of mods. That pack was submitted to Mod Hub on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. Might have been Tuesday. Might have been really early. It was really early Tuesday morning. I finished it up before work on Tuesday morning because I was awake at like 5 a.m. even though I was away from home and had nothing to do. So you can see course plays working well. Yep. So that pack is finished, and what it is a pack of what I've called improvised animal sheds. Now, this was inspired by someone posting on my Discord about trying to put animals in or find a way of putting animals into kind of an existing shed. So, yeah, kind of like Tom Pemberton with them putting cows in their what they call showroom. You see it with lots where the farmers will take a barn, make sure it's fenced and gated off, make sure it's got water trough, make sure it's got feed, good to go. So I have taken some of Giants buildings and turned them into animal sheds. So there's a cow one, there's a pig one, and there's a sheep one. No idea when they'll actually be released. They were only submitted. It was Tuesday morning I submitted them, so I think the wait is about a week, maybe 2 at the moment. So it's a way off before it's even going to get through the first round of testing, which it will undoubtedly fail. So probably a month, I would guess. You might see them appearing in some videos soon because I want to have a play with them, and they are quite cool. So the patrons and maybe the YouTube channel members, I don't remember which of the separate channels I shared it on, have seen some pictures of them. bit of a shout out to Cortex 2 for nudging me to not give up on some stuff when I was trying to build them. They have some cool extra features, and some of them were quite infuriating to implement, and I, at a couple of points, was kind of at the, I'm not sure if I can be bothered, and he gave me a kick up the arse, so yeah, thank you, buddy. I think I've ended up with something which is going to be quite popular, certainly amongst people who play how I like to play. Yeah, like looking forward to sharing those with you guys in a bit. I want to wait until they've at least failed first round testing, because they will. I have had one mod which didn't fail testing and it went straight through, and it really shocked me. I do not expect these to. I expect there to be some issues. So we'll see. Getting dark. I've slowed down time so we don't end up in the complete darkness. As I've spoken about before, I tend not to like recording once it's got dark. I think it's a bit annoying to watch personally, and so yeah, I wouldn't actually want it to be much darker than this when I'm recording a video. There we go. Yeah, so the problem I find with half-hour plus videos is I start to run out of stuff to ramble about. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Some other video ideas that I've been having around these kind of list videos, which seem incredibly popular. So, and feel free to throw some suggestions in the comments. I want to do a, 5 ways to play farm sim, that kind of thing. Maybe the other ones are kind of, like good starter vehicles. I think that's always an interesting one. Mainly for me, that means they're cheap, they work. That's one that I've been thinking about. Kind of, and more of my essential mods. They always do really well. My favorite whatevers, favorite tractors, I thought would be a fun one to do. Probably because loads of people will disagree on that one, but personal favorites are personal favorites. That might be quite a long video. There's quite a lot of tractors that I like, but yeah, those kind of things. I'm thinking maybe once every couple of weeks I'll throw one of those in, just to get some more views, really. And it's weird because people always talk about subscribers, and the 0 to 1,000, that's important. I think when you're in that middle ground, it doesn't matter as much. It's a lot more about people watching your videos. If someone's subscribed but they never actually watch, YouTube won't serve the videos up for them to watch again. If they don't show interest after, if you subscribe and YouTube shows you a couple of videos in your feed and you don't watch them, YouTube won't show you them again generally. So I have 4,100 and something subscribers, but about 200 to 300 people watch my videos. And I suspect most of the others that are subscribed don't see a lot of them because they're only here for certain things like tutorials or whatever. So it's much more about views. And the reason that I really want to do them is they maybe pop up in people's feeds and they start watching the regular stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. The little short that I made the other day did quite well. I thought it was a bit of fun. Bit weird having me in the video. Not that you saw much of me, but it was a bit weird having actual me in the video. But yeah, that setup sort of worked. It did have some issues with the connection between the two laptops not always working, but it helped a little bit. With that trip, it was less important. But if I'm doing like a Monday away where I do a big recording session, it would be really useful if that worked well. Yeah, it's all worked. It's all worked. All the stuff I took with me. So you probably saw in the video. I had the PS4, I think it's PS4 controller, the spare phone for Sim Dashboard. I used none of it at all. Mainly because it was quite a tiring trip and I didn't actually play that much. That kind of happens when they're really tiring trips. You know, you get to the end of the day at work, you get back to the hotel, and kind of crashed really both days. And then yesterday morning I drove home. I then had to do a bunch of work through the afternoon, and by the time I finished, actually before I started doing work in the afternoon, I felt awful. That would have been in the commentary for a Maypole video that may come out before or after this. I felt really rough when I woke up in the morning, and it just got worse through the day. Feeling a bit better today, thankfully. Although quite fragile, so hopefully that will all go away. So we'll get these last few bales in the shed, and we'll call it a day, and we'll be back for the mega field. Yeah, I'm not sure when that's going to be. There might be a bit of a gap in the videos in the next few days. I'm not sure. I might juggle things around so that there isn't. We'll see. Yeah, struggling to even unload those bales. It was definitely time to stop playing and go to bed. I think it was about 100 bales we got off of there. So over 500,000 litres off of one field, which is really cool. Going to be really useful. The other one on the farm will silage next month, and we'll put that in the fermenting silos. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. 101 bales. Comments, questions, suggestions below, and I will see you next time on Greenlands.